Let's see if this even works. Welcome to Coffee Breaks Thursday with Jason Zalatkis. So I thought about, there's my fingers. I thought about, let's see, that's much better. I thought about what if I was going to do the whole show like this? Well, not with me in it, I'd have a much better prop, but what if I was going to do the whole show as this puppet? What if I was all, welcome our guest, and I was this whole puppet this whole time? And I thought that would be hella stupid, and obviously it is hella stupid. But then I thought to myself, what about this clown's parents? This is a baby clown, and I thought, was he born like this, or does he have parents that made him like this? So anyway, I don't know. The gag isn't working. Let's just take off with this stupid gag, and we'll start the show the normal way. Anyway, I don't know if it's working or not. Nobody's in on it yet. It's just to start the show. Anyway, I got this toy at Goodwill, and I couldn't believe that his parents just left him there. Pretty sad. So somebody left him at Goodwill, and I bought him. So he's mine now. But anyway, let's test our lighting, and let's see if we can get to this actual show we got here. There's my stomach for a brief minute. I thought that would be an interesting gag to start the show. I don't know if it was. It might have been stupid, but hey, we got to try stuff. That's what I do here. That's what this is. Coffee Breaks Thursday with Jason Zalatkis. Hello, I'm your host, Jason Zalatkis. How are you today? Thanks for tuning in on this Thursday. I should have adjusted all this prior to coming on, but it's not like I've done this before every week. Hello there. So let's see. I'm still setting up, but I didn't want to be late, so I started doing it anyway. I'm gonna have the whole morning to get ready, and I still end up late to my own show. What are you gonna do? We're gonna wait. We're gonna wait for the audience to come on. Apparently, Facebook doesn't tell you that I'm live. I don't know. I guess I'm too popular now, and so let's fix your hair in the meantime. But I guess I'm too popular now or something, and Facebook just does not want to promote the show without me paying them, and you know how that's going to go. I'm giving Facebook some dough, because, what do they need the dough for? They should let me have this platform for free. I'm not saying I would never give them dough. I'm saying that for this show, we'll move platforms. Because you guys love it. So we'll see. I'm waiting for anyone. It doesn't tell me anyone's watching, so maybe nobody is. But if you are, then you are, and if you're here, then good for you. If you're not, then hey, you're missing out, because I've got a heck of a show for you today. I've got a really fantastic show lined up. Michael Moutsatsos is our guest. I've been practicing his name. Michael Moutsatsos is our guest today, and as you know, my name is Jason Zalatkis. So trying to get someone's last name correct is something I try to do on the show. Let's talk about some stuff. How was my week? Because that's what we talk about in the beginning of the show. We talk about how was my week. This week we are drinking from my kid's new Corpse Bride mug, and we're drinking from this because I didn't have anything else. I couldn't find anything else to really put in the mug. But let's ask a question, audience question. Recently, my kid is talking about that Corpse Bride, that people are like, oh, there should be this live action Corpse Bride. There should be this live action Corpse Bride. So personally, I don't think it's needed. What do you think? Do you want to see a live action Corpse Bride? And if so, who should play the lead? And don't say me, because we're talking about, you know what I mean. Don't go like, oh, you should be the lead. I'm not asking that question. I'm saying, who should be the lead? Do you think there should be a live action Corpse Bride? So let me know, and we'll talk about that. I was thinking about something. I have to tell you something that happened. Actually, let me tell you about what's been going on with me, because that's why you're here. You're here for Michael Moutsatsos, but realistically, I'm the host. So, and I'm losing my audience as I talk about myself. That's so funny. Thank you guys. The deal is that this week I auditioned. I had an audition, and nice. Okay, the vote so far is yes for the remake of. Or not a remake, but a live-action version of Corpse Bride. So we got that going on. I don't know who Jake Scazzaro is, but he can be the lead. That's very cool. I don't know who that is. Probably somebody very current that is on a TV show that people are like, oh my God, you should watch, that I never do. But anyway, I had an audition this week. I had a live action. Here I go again. I had an in-person audition this week, which was crazy. And I get there and I'm like, man, it's all these crazy people and people are underdressed. They're wearing like jeans and stuff. And I'm talking about for like a real audition. I'm thinking to myself, they're wearing like jeans and t-shirts and things like I am right now, like for this show. And I'm thinking to myself, man, you showed up to an audition in person and the character isn't supposed to be wearing jeans or whatever. And I'm saying to myself, would you just fit this in? And, in the middle of your day? Like, to me, it was a big deal to have an in-person audition, so I dressed appropriately. But everybody else, they just showed up. It was like, oh, I took a half hour off work to come here and do this audition. And maybe they did. But I was pretty unimpressed by the other people. And I'm not trying to hack anybody's acting ability. Maybe they were stunning in the room, and hopefully they were. But I couldn't believe they showed up to an in-person audition like tennis shoes and like no style even. I'm not talking about like, they look cool or something. I'm saying like, I couldn't believe that this is the talent I was disappointed. I mean, and that's not to say I'll even land the role. Maybe I should shut my mouth. Maybe one of those people is better. But from my judgmental standpoint here, I was unimpressed by them. Yes, he's in Michael Moutsatsos' recent movie Ravage, which I've heard about. I wonder if we'll talk about that on the show. Probably not. That's a joke. Of course we're going to talk about that on the show. So the other thing I wanted to tell you is that I heard this story before, and I'm going to get Michael on the show here shortly. Coffee Breaks Thursday with Jason Salakis. But I wanted to tell you guys about this story I heard, and it's absolutely insane. Forgive me. My son brought something home, and not the COVID. We had him tested. But anyway, so... where was I going with this? Oh yeah, so I read this story this morning, and it was right before I came on camera, and I read the story. That's probably why I'm late, is I get caught up reading articles and stuff, and because I read a lot, and that's how I know things, and that's how I learn these facts, and I learn all this crazy stuff, because I read like constantly. But I read this article this morning, and it was about a dude, a 79-year-old guy. Now follow me on this. A 79-year-old guy shot his 50-year-old son, 50. A 79-year-old guy shot his 50-year-old son because the 50-year-old son played guitar for an hour straight. So I started thinking about that, man, and I started tripping out about the fact that here's a 50-year-old man and he lives with his dad, right? So who of them, first of all, is the breadwinner in the house? Who is actually making the money? So if it's the kid, and he's like, Dad, leave me alone. I'm just trying to play Beastie Boys over here on my guitar. And then the dad comes in, he's like, shoots this guy for the sake that he had a gun, for the sake that he had a guitar. And he was like, I'm trying to watch my goddamn shows. Like, how did this, like, I have no idea. Like, and allegedly, I read into the story, and allegedly the guy was trying to shoot the guitar. Because my first thought is, don't shoot the kid. Smash the guitar. And then all the kid had to say was, Dad, I was writing a song for you, Dad. For you. And that was all I could think about was that this dude, that's all he had to say. And imagine. So afterwards, the guy gets shot. This is a 100% true story. Afterwards, the guy gets shot. He does not go down. Now, the guy lived. He didn't die. I would not joke about this, and honestly, I probably would joke about this if he died anyway. But I got to tell you, this is funny to me. The guy gets shot, and he's not dead, and he gets up, and he beats the dad. Like, tears his face and a whole bunch of stuff. So not only does he shoot the kid, but he tears his face. So at what point are you 50 years old, and you could be like, Dad, shut up? Like, I'll unplug you, Dad. Like, at what point are you 50 years old and your dad? I mean, and honestly, how bad was his guitar playing? Like how bad? Like, I thought to myself, man, you shot him? Like, dude, that is crazy. So anyway, that's what it is. So I'm going to go out, and here's another thing, is our director now, he's Michael Moutsatsos is on our show today, and he's in for a whole wild of stuff. I've got all kinds of stuff just like that coming up. I even told our producer, Warren Madden, I said, hey man, if he's coming on the show expecting this to be a real interview, he's in for a real trouble. As if you've ever seen my show, actually learning stuff. We're here to have a good time. Because, entertainment. That's why I'm here for you guys. On Thursday, I could be doing anything. I literally could could be over there playing Fortnite. And I want to be. So, being here with you guys, no, I'm kidding. I love doing this show. I love you guys. Michael is here. We're going to get him on. My wife chimed in. I heard the 911 call on the radio. The dad was super calm. It was weird. Yeah, maybe because the dad is 80. Like, I bet he was calm. I bet he was like, who is this again? I bet he was like, why did you call me? Oh, yeah, I called you. I bet he was like that. Like, so anyway, let this be a lesson, folks. Live guns. And we're going to talk about live guns today. We're going to make this happen. We're going to get Michael Moutsatsos on the show. I'm already having too much fun. I have to invite him, and he told me this. I can't even get this to go away. The funny thing is that directors are not as good at this as you think they would be. The actors know how to do it. They know how to chime in. They know how to do these things because we're required to. So as an actor, they make us like, we have to know all these different technologies. But as the directors, they don't know this stuff. So he's like, well, you have to invite me. So I'm going to try to do that. Here we go. Let's see if I can invite him. I've only ever invited people that have appeared on the show here. So let's see if we can find this. So that's what I'm doing. If it looks bizarre to you, why I'm doing that. And there he is. How many profiles are we got 2 different profiles. Now I'm not sure which one to invite. We're going to take a chance on that one or this one. Hey, there we go. So, we got that one. Okay, so we're going to get Michael Moutsatsos on the show. Coffee Breaks Thursday with Jason Zalakis, drinking from a Corpse Bride mug this morning. And the truth is I'm with you guys. I'm with you guys on the live action remake. I heard your response. You guys are down for the live action remake. However, you're wrong. That's a terrible idea. So I just wanted you to know that. It's probably a money maker. So who am I to say what's a terrible idea if it makes money? The Pet Rock. That could have been a terrible idea. Maybe it wasn't. Man, I love the Pet Rock. Who am I to say? It's the lowest maintenance pet ever. It was one of the few that my parents let me have. There's a freaking bug in here, too. This is an uninvited bug. He does not have a ticket to the show. So, Michael, trying to get you on. I see you saying hi there. Let's see what's going on here. The 2 invites are sent. I only can, at this point now, I can solve for time. Because that's what I do. Let's talk about some more fun things. Recently, I learned that a woodpecker wraps its tongue around its brain. No, I'm not calling you, Michael. I'm trying to get you. I'm not calling. I tried to invite you through this Facebook technology. See, there's this little thing on the bottom. Anyway, producer Warren Madden hooked that up. A woodpecker wraps its tongue around its brain when it pecks so that it doesn't get brain damage. Did you know that? Of course you didn't know that. You didn't know that because nobody knows that. That's like an insane fact I learned. And then I started to think, what if Muhammad Ali had a tongue that could wrap around his brain when he fought? Is that why Muhammad Ali is the greatest of all time? What other animal things, like I also learned something else, and I was going to save this until we were on the show, but it doesn't matter. He doesn't want to talk about this random crap anyway, but let's talk about this. Did you know the marlin, that marlin fish, the marlin, right? Like the Florida marlins. And I know producer Warren Madden is from Florida, so I know you guys know about the fish over there, but did you know a marlin has bones in its eyeballs so that it can dive to depths that other fish can't go because of the pressure. So it has like bones in its eyes that keep its basically its eyes from popping, which I thought was incredible. I thought that was fascinating to know that. Michael, you keep saying hi. All I've done is I sent the 2 invites, so that's about all I can do for you here is keep those invites out there until you approve them. And once you get on the show, I'm more than happy to have you. I'd love to get you on here. Let's see. Yeah, I can't even add you anymore. You have to find the invites and accept one of them. So whoever can tell Michael how to do that, that'd be great. I don't know how to do that. So we're going to see from Cali, because I live in Florida now. That's crazy about marlins. Yes, right. So it's crazy about marlins that they have bones in their eyes. And so when, I didn't know that. And I don't even have a joke lined up for that. I just thought that was a fascinating thing. I was going to ask Michael about bones and crap. He has. Warren said I was calling Warren the producer. You should know. Anyway, guys, we're about to make this happen. Here we go. I'm going to be on the show, so let's see what happens. And we're going to make this happen.
Hey, man. Now I got something.
There it is.
There it is. Sold.
All right, you are sideways. Unfortunately, I know we're traditionally trained as actors to turn our camera horizontal, but on this show, Facebook, not necessarily a show, but on Facebook, you have to have a. So, is there a way to zoom out your camera a tiny bit? You're a little close there. I know it's probably your first time on this. See, again, the directors have difficulty.
I'm an actor by nature, dude.
Yeah, no, I know. We're going to get into that. I know all that. I'm giving you director Raz. Now you're upside down. So, I noticed you're. We're going for a ride here. So,
Yeah.
That might be our best angle. I'm hoping we can get a little better angle there.
I don't want to be
that's the ceiling.
Yeah, I don't want to be that close. Is that good?
That's better. That's much better. Sure.
All right.
That's great.
Man.
So, hey, at this point, welcome to the show. Welcome to Coffee Breaks Thursday with Jason Zalakis. So, I noticed you're wearing a Halloween shirt.
I am.
And did you see the newest Halloween?
Of course.
Okay.
Loved it.
And did you know in that movie that Donald Pleasance, obviously Dr. Loomis, he died, right? We all know that.
Right.
And did you know that he was done in the film with actual practical effects? He's not CGI. They have an actor wearing makeup that looks.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. There's no CGI.
And he was voiced over by a guy who does an impression.
Absolutely.
So what's your take on that? Like you make films, you make movies that have death scenes and gore scenes. But what's your take on bringing someone back to life who isn't in the film?
I thought it was fabulous. I mean, it's a flashback scene. So why wouldn't you want to do that? They were originally going to do that with the first Halloween, 2018. Their original opening was arresting Michael Myers. They were going to have a different actress over Jamie Lee Curtis. Everything was going to be CGI. John Carpenter said, stop muttering the waters, keep it simple. So they kept it for the second one now. I think it's great. I think it's fabulous.
You think it's okay? You don't have a problem with someone who is dead being reprised?
Not in a flashback.
What about Tupac appearing on stage in a hologram? Is that acceptable?
I guess for those people that like it, yeah, man. No, I don't care.
You don't care because it's Tupac? Would you perhaps care if it was, say, Elvis?
I just think, I think the whole hologram thing kind of sucks.
The hologram idea itself is kind of sucky. So if they had a guy in makeup as Tupac, that would have been okay.
I think it's where. What are you doing with the guy? You know what I'm saying? Are you just having him sell something, or is he in a movie? Or it's the where. It's the location. That's what I'm looking for. Location.
Sure. Okay. So right. So in all fairness, when they brought Tupac back and when they brought Donald Pleasance back, they did it with class. They did it with intention. Right. They meant no disrespect to anybody. But suppose they bring somebody like Frank Sinatra back and he's like, hey, yo, want to buy some toothpaste? Like, would that be would that be acceptable?
It's not acceptable to me. It's not acceptable to a lot of people. But, the world in which we're living right now, everything is shock. Everything is a shock value. What can we do to get attention to ourselves? How many more likes can we get? How many more followers can we get? That's our society today. I don't care about that. I've had actors reaching out to me to be in one of my films. Oh, I have, 20 million followers. I don't care.
Okay.
I mean, good for you. I'm happy, because that's today's world. But if you suck as an actor, you're not in my movie.
Right. The bottom line is talent.
The bottom line is the talent. So I'm, people make a living that way. People, it's great. It's all good for everybody. I'm not here to knock anybody. You do you. And, you know, as long as you don't bother me, I don't bother you.
Right. So there's essentially you're saying there's more than one path to success. It doesn't
Ex-
necessarily.
right. Exactly.
But your path is not the paparazzi sort of path, I guess I would call it.
It's not. You know, I'm not. I'm old school, man. I'm Carpenter. I'm well, all these guys, Brian De Palma, when they all grew up in the '70s. I'm that guy.
Right. I recently saw someone say that that film, in sort of essence, was dead in that respect. That there would never be something again like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest,
Never,
or
never.
right. So you believe that then?
Absolutely. These guys, nobody can touch the '70s film wise. The scripts, the way they shot it, these guys were geniuses.
Is it possible that's a childhood thing for you, and that that's when we grew up, that maybe that's why we're hooked on it?
Well, I don't know.
Or,
I mean, look at what's out there now.
and I don't disagree, right? Because I believe Jaws and Psycho are films we'll never see the likes of again. That those
Absolutely
were
not. You know, I saw them when they first came out in the movie theaters. I'm not watching them on some 2x4 screen. You know, that's the way the world is today.
And when you saw Halloween, did you go to the theater or did you see it on Peacock at home?
The new one,
Yes,
I went to the AMC, and then I got Peacock, and then I showed it to a couple of people that were at my house that night after we already had seen it up there at the AMC. So we saw it twice.
Okay, so right, so I was wondering about supporting the art in that respect because
Absolutely.
my kid says, Dad, I got to go see Halloween It Kills in the theater. I've never seen Halloween in the theater, and I'm saying, but I'm already paying for Peacock. And my kid says, so so I would have stayed home and watched it, but I got to admit the theater experience was worth it.
Well, not only that, I mean, we're not all, I mean, I don't know about you, but I have a 120-inch screen. I have a home theater. I've got the Dolby Atmos, hookup and all that stuff. Not everybody has the luxury of that. Like I said, today's kids are watching it on your phone. The size of your screen right now is 7 inches, 6 inches by whatever.
So do you take that into account as a director, as a filmmaker currently? We're going to talk about your acting, but as a director, filmmaker currently, do you take those things into account when making a film? Do you think, okay, I realize my audience is this big now, or I realize I don't care about them. I intend the vision. Like, what is your take on dealing with trends and dealing with how you make a movie from a director's standpoint?
I mean, first of all, for me, it's always about the screen. I don't even think about it. Nothing's in the back of my head about who's going to see it on as long as it's out there, as long as anybody can see it. In a perfect world, of course, you'd like to have it out there in the movie theater on the big screen, stuff like that. Again, it's the world that we're living in today. I mean, what's your market? What's your demographics? Who are you going after? Those guys are going to see it on their iPad, iPhone, whatever it is. They're not going to the movie theaters.
You believe then it's better for, let's say, an independent filmmaker to aim at, more independent people, I guess, like people on their phones or people that can watch it, rather than try to aim at a larger theater. Like where are you saying the marketing angle is at?
The marketing angle today is definitely not in the big screens. It's not 18 to 25 demographic. They're not going to the movie theaters. They're watching it at home, stuff like that.
Sure.
I'm not necessarily, for me, making movies, my kind of movies anyway, for that demographic.
Right. Okay. So
Right.
what demographic would you say you're aiming at? Like are you aiming for someone that appreciates the Halloween film, or are you aiming for somebody that appreciates I Still Know What You Did Last Summer? Like, and I say that as a newer movie.
No, yeah, no, I get you. No, I'm the other guy. The person that you appreciate Halloween.
Okay.
Old school stuff.
Do you tribute that in your films? Is that important to you to lay tributes? Is it important to you? Like, to me, it is. As an actor, I like to have things that I know are sort of in the movie that other people don't.
Right.
Like, is that important to you? Are you Hitchcockian in that sense?
I am. My new movie now, I have a cameo in it. My first movie, The Butcher, I'm starring in the movie. So, it's, I am that way. There's Easter eggs, if that's what you're referring to.
I guess so, right.
I have little props, things lying around. Some people will get it, some people won't get it. But I know it's there, and but I'm that kind of guy. In answer to your question, I'm that guy.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
So you moved. Yeah. You're originally from New York, and I honestly thought you were still in New York. I didn't realize you were in Los Angeles. Just like me.
Right.
And I didn't realize that you were in LA. But I was, when I was researching you, you moved from New York to LA. At what age were you when you moved? I think you moved here in 2013. Is that right?
No, I moved here in 1990.
Oh, okay. So it was a while ago. Oh,
it was a while ago. I'm out here 31 years now. Right, 31, yeah.
So in 79, when you were in the Warriors, which I think is huge, you were in the Warriors, which is really cool. Where are you in the Warriors? Are you in that scene? Like,
the Central Park scene,
right.
One of the baseball Furies, where they're running after us, and the guy says, "I'm going to take that baseball bat, shove it up your ass, and make it into a popsicle." That's me. He says that to me.
He says it to you.
Yeah, I'm the baseball Fury that's standing there with the baseball bat, ringing it back and forth like this, and then he says that line to me. I'm taking out, the stunt guys put in,
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah,
wow. So you actually got hurt by a baseball Fury, essentially.
I am the baseball Fury.
Oh, you are the Fury.
The Warrior said it to me.
Oh my God! And I have seen this movie. So you were literally one of the baseball Furies in.
Correct.
How come that doesn't appear on your IMDb?
Uncredited.
You're an uncredited baseball Fury.
Yep.
And how come you guys were so bad with the bats? How come you couldn't hit anything? You guys were like the stormtroopers of baseball.
Nobody could hit anything. I mean, it was like, look. Nobody hit anybody in that movie. It was so, not the movie was stupid. But.
Stupid, but right. There, yeah. So, so I also read that you were in Beat Street. Is that true?
Yeah, but that's not a big deal in Beat Street. That's not anything to take any note of. I was just in there. It's not a big deal. I wasn't a lead.
But you appear in the film Beat Street?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think that's huge. Especially for me, like growing up, like I saw that in the theater.
I went up originally. I did not obviously get it, but there was this. I haven't seen the movie, and the guy like draws something. He's a graffiti artist or something like. I was up for that part.
Oh man! Oh dude, he's the best character in the whole movie.
Yeah, but I couldn't do any of that stuff, so it didn't go to me, obviously.
Right. So he obviously he is obviously a huge centerpiece in the film, and
right.
And I don't want to spoil Beat Street, but
no, that's okay.
So
I haven't seen it, so to be honest with you.
Oh my God, there was this guy in high school who used to walk around always, and he would go, "Beat Street, the king of the beat. I see you rocking that beat from across the street." Like, you never saw the movie, huh? Did we lose you? There you go. You never saw my rapping? You cut off during my rapping. That was on purpose. But are you still there?
No, my phone rang. My phone rang. You didn't hear the Halloween music?
I did not hear. We can't see it. It just sort of freezes up and goes.
That's my ringtone. So
the Halloween thing. So you're into it, really?
Yeah.
Okay. So then let me derail the conversation one more time. Halloween 3. Count it. Don't count it.
It was a movie for me that, as an adult, I'm starting to appreciate the movie. Counted into the timeline that they're at now, it makes no sense. All they did was just, with the mask and everything, just made little homages to it. But, it's got nothing to do with Michael Myers. That's why everybody was pissed off back then, too.
So you're saying as a standalone film, you appreciate it, but you don't feel it should be part of the Halloween series.
Why? It has
Maybe
nothing to do with Michael Myers. I'm sorry. It's got nothing to do with the storyline. It's got nothing to do with Jamie Lee Curtis. It's got nothing to do with anybody. It's this people in a factory that got these masks and these kids put them on, and everybody changes, and like at the end, all that the snakes and the worms or whatever came out of that poor kid and shit like that. But it's a standalone movie. It's not a Halloween movie.
Well, that kid probably deserved it. I mean, he's probably a little jerk, right? He was. I'm just playing. Anyway, so.
No, most kids that age are little jerks.
Right, I'm sure that kid was like, I want a golden goose now, Daddy. Give me that mask. I'm sure he was that kid, right?
Yeah.
Like, so I saw that movie when I was like 10 or 11 years old, and that scene like really messed me up,
Right.
And but Carpenter's vision, as you know, was not Halloween was never to be Michael the whole way. It was to be an anthology series. So in that respect, like, Carpenter meant it was going to be more like a creep show where they did one, creep show is obviously a solid anthology, but each film was supposed to be a Halloween tale, not around Michael.
Well, from what I understand, he didn't even want to do the second one.
Right.
He just like wrote it, and is it Rick Rosenthal that directed it, I believe?
I don't know who directed the second one. I know Dick Warlock was the Shape, but
yeah.
Past that. So let's go to your films. And again, like I said, the Halloween was a derail. Oh wait, one more question about the Halloween. What happened to those kids at the end of Halloween 3? What happens to them? Are they dead?
Season of the Witch. No, man. I think it's not stopped. I think they're all dead.
You think they're all dead?
I think they're dead. I don't think it was able to be stopped.
Would there be interest in a Season of the Witch 2?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I guess. It was a good movie. It's not a great movie. I don't think even that needs a sequel. Not everything needs a sequel or a prequel.
So let's talk about the 3 ravages you've made since you mentioned not everything needs a sequel.
Well, they're not all made. They're not all made yet. So
let's talk about I believe you're just finished shooting Ravage Part 2. Is that correct?
I just started doing a little filming the other day in the rain, because I needed, it doesn't rain that much in Los Angeles, and I needed some shots with the rain, actual rain, besides just putting it in there in post.
Right.
So I took one of my lead actors. We went to Hollywood Boulevard. We did lots of B-roll stuff, and because of the rain, I wanted that. And then I'm writing it. I'm halfway through writing the second one. It's not really a sequel. Ravage is its own standalone film. I don't want to spoil it, but that's why I was able to make Part 2.
Okay. I like that. So
yeah.
I read that, and we were talking about tributes and Hitchcock and that kind of stuff. I read that you chose to shoot Ravage 2 in black and white.
Yes.
Why the reason for that?
There's black and white in the first Ravage, but it's only because of flashbacks. I was looking at some films, and I always wanted to do a movie strictly. I did shorts, as a younger filmmaker in black and white. I've always dug black and white. I've always heard the terminology, black and white is the kiss of death, for a filmmaker. I don't know. What do I have to lose?
Well, right. You might as well attempt it. It could, eventually, right? Things come back around again. Maybe black and white will catch on. There was that movie that was black and white that won an award.
There was there's a few, I believe.
But I mean recently, right?
Was it Roma?
Life, I don't know, something French.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Right. Some bullshit. Anyway.
No, I mean, whatever, man. It's like, yeah. I mean, why not? Why not go out of the box? Why not? Why be a cookie cutter? Why follow the trends? It's that old adage where you hear, in a world full of Kardashians, be a Lucille Ball. Being original. Don't follow the trends because everybody's down this road. I go that way. That's always been my thing.
I was going to ask you, is that sort of been your philosophy?
Yeah,
on
that's always
how
been.
to
Absolutely.
do the opposite of what everyone else is doing.
Exactly.
Right. And especially in Hollywood, it seems to be a needed thing, right? Like to get noticed.
Yeah, to get noticed, it's like, okay, how many more of the same stuff do we get to see over and over and over again? It's like one just looks like the other thing. And I'm like, well, wait a minute, guys, time out. Look at this guy over here, what he's doing, something fresh, something new, original. The word is original, Hollywood.
Right. I mean, I like to think Hollywood thinks that it's original, but realistically, I think that they want to produce movies after movie of the same stuff.
It's all about money. That's all it is. It's a money game. Nobody cares about these sequels. Nobody cares about the prequels. A handful that you can tell me of sequels or remakes or reboots. It's the same word. I don't care how you sugarcoat it.
Sure.
Are good. What's good as a remake? What's good? Poltergeist sucked.
Yeah, I mean, the only remake I actually thought was worth it was I really liked Vince Vaughn's portrayal. I hate to go back to Psycho again, but
right.
I actually thought he was really good. To me, that I actually enjoyed that film, and I'm a huge Psycho fan. I actually liked the remake.
I hated it.
You hated the Psycho remake. I actually liked Vaughn's portrayal. But let me ask you about another movie here in Hollywood. I was reading, and we're talking about killings. We're talking about Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees. I read that, well, we didn't mention Jason Voorhees, but I just brought him up. In 3 movies, John Wick has killed 299 people, which is more than the 22 movies Michael and Jason have combined. So when we're talking about selling something,
yeah,
I mean, do we need a 4th John Wick?
Yes.
Why do you say that after you say Hollywood is just pumping out the same stuff?
I love John Wick. Let me have my John Wick. Again, as long as it's something fresh and original. My sequel, Ravage 2: The Hunted, is a fresh, original story. Same characters, but each of my films are their own. They're not going into the next chapter 2 or chapter 3, how they do that. They're standalone films with the title 2 on it or 3 on it or whatever. Same characters, but fresh ideas.
Do you like the concept of picking up where a movie left off? Like, for instance, this movie, Halloween Kills, picked up where the last one left off.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think when I heard that they changed the ending, I know, I'm sure you know what the original ending is again. 4 years later for the next one, why?
Right.
Why? Continue it the same night. Why? Where's he going? On a picnic?
Where did he go? Right.
In 4 years? What the fuck? I mean, come on.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean,
yes, he waited 15 years until he went out to kill his sister or whatever. But I mean,
well, theoretically, I guess he was, I don't know, locked up or enjoying the pudding, or I don't know.
Yeah.
So you were on Voyager, and
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that one. What?
You were on Star Trek Voyager.
Oh yeah, I did 1 episode.
You did, but are you aware that the outfit you wore? Do you know what happened to that outfit?
I did, because I wanted to buy it years ago. It was at one of these places in Hollywood. It was on eBay, and then somebody bought it, and I don't know. So I tried buying it.
You did try buying it. I was going to ask you because the outfit you wore, I read that the outfit you wore got sold by, I think I wrote it down here. I don't even know. My notes are all over the place. But the outfit you wore on Star Trek got sold off.
Right.
And on eBay. And so
I saw it on eBay, but then I had also heard before that on eBay that it was in, you know, these places in Los Angeles where you can buy wardrobe for films that were worn.
Right.
One of those stores had it. And then, I don't know, it got onto eBay. I saw it on eBay, yeah. But and it was sold. It was sold. I'm like, what the fuck? You know? God, let me have it.
Did you try to contact the buyer, or did you ever put it out to any Star Trek groups? Hey, I'm the actor who wore it.
No, I never did. I'm so stupid.
Like, so it's out there technically.
Technically, it's out there. Somebody has my Ladosian scientist outfit. Yes.
And right. And what was I guess it wasn't your name on it. It was a character's name.
It was the character. It's just, I think it just said Ladosian scientist because that was my character's name on that episode. Yeah, the one with Jerry Ryan and God. I looked at those photos not too long ago. Everybody else, we were like on this island, and everybody else was dressed in red. I remember that. I have to look at the photos again.
Right. So Jerry Ryan was there, and some other people. It was Star Trek. It was another Tuesday for me.
You're inside the spaceship, and they're telling you it's being hit, and you're moving like this, you know, and all this shit's going on. I felt like I was at a Universal Studio tour ride, man. It was like,
how long did it take to shoot? How long did it take to shoot that Star Trek episode? Is that like a full day shoot? Is that like 120 for 8, or like, you know what I mean? Like how long of a day was that?
It was one day. It was a long, I don't know, 18-hour day or whatever it was. You know, first they have you in the prosthetic. They gave me the forehead thing with that piece that went here. It was a lot easier to take it off than to put it on. Putting it on took, I think, 3 hours.
Right.
Yeah, and then we took it off. They kind of like rip it off. You know,
18-hour days, you said?
Yeah, it was about a 16, 17-hour day. It was Paramount backlot, you know, that kind of thing.
When you came out of there, were you like, dude, I'm never doing that again? Or were you like, hell yeah, I was on Star Trek?
I was on Star Trek. Yeah. I mean, if they had invited me back, I would have done another one. But I mean, I'm not, you know, I can't go to a convention and say, hey guys, you know, I'm a you know, at a convention, sell 8x10s and.
But I'm sure you could as a baseball fury. I'm sure you could show up and go, yo, I'm a baseball fury.
I don't know. I mean, it's like I keep telling everybody when I did it, it's like when you're doing it in 1979, you don't realize how it's going to blow up.
Right.
It was banned in New York, number one. The Warriors was banned in New York City. It was too violent. You know, the mayor of New York at the time, Koch, you know.
Ed Koch, one of my favorites. He was governor of New Jersey or something when I was a kid.
Right.
And he used to wear a tie that had little NJs on it. You know, because my grandparents, my mother's from New Jersey, so I had a lot of time back east when I was a kid.
I'm sorry.
So no, I love it. So I love back east. I tried to convince my wife, and she was all hell no. But try to convince anyone to move to New Jersey. I'm not that good a salesman, man. Like, right. I don't think anyone can do that. So I want to ask you, speaking of New Jersey, recently you were at a Denny's in Hollywood.
Dude, what are you guys following me? What are you, TMZ now? What the fuck? Yes, I was in Denny's, yeah.
So I'm about the best there is when it comes to interviewing, man. I like it. Thank you for that compliment. I appreciate that. You were in a Denny's at Hollywood, and there was a roach there.
Yeah, on my table.
On the table. So let me ask you something.
Rolling on the table.
I'm from San Francisco.
Okay.
We have roaches.
Of course.
The roaches in LA, they're like double the size.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not talking about Texas roaches. I'm not saying they're that. They don't fly. But how big was I saw one yesterday. I was going to an audition.
I mean, it wasn't cockroach size, you know, but
okay.
It was a nice size, but you know, they bring me my food. My partner had gotten his food first, nice and hot. My burger. 20 minutes later, we were there 45 minutes until we got the food. And so I'm eating it, you know, bad meal, bad fries, blah, 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 roach crawling across the table. I'm like, I'm done, man. That's it. I'm done. I'm done. I'm over. That's it.
The roach was it. Have you ever, what do you think about that episode in Creep Show? I mentioned that again, but there's an episode of Creep Show where the roaches come out of that guy. Do you never not? I think about that. Whenever I see roaches, I think, dang, dude, what if they came out? Like, oh.
No, I mean, I was actually going to shoot something, speaking of roaches, with Ravage. I decided not to, where they pop out of this. I have them. I bought like 1,000 life-size looking on eBay. And I was going to do this whole flashback scene with all these roaches and everything. So now that you're mentioning roaches, but I decided not to do it. But, you know, it's creepy. I mean, you know, all these things coming out of you, you know, it's like.
Right. So the roach. So is there a bug that you're afraid of? Is there like something? What if you see it in the house? Are you like, yo, that is uncool? Like for me, it's silverfish, man. I don't dig a silverfish. But what about you? Is there something that freaks you out?
I mean, seeing a cockroach the size of a cat, yes.
Well, I'm not talking about living in Florida. I mean, so.
You know, I mean, here we have, you know, now it's this time of year, like, you know what a stink bug is, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so they start coming in through your windows and stuff. I just take the toilet paper, a Bounty, and, you know, I grab them and I throw them in the toilet and drown. And.
Okay, so when I moved down here to LA, there was these giant beetles that are flying around everywhere.
Right.
And,
yeah.
And I was like, because, you know, in San Francisco, we don't have bugs, right? So I was like, you know, because we outlaw them. You know, we're like, homeless people are cool, but the bugs are no. Mm-hmm. So, you know, in San Francisco, right? So I made myself laugh at that joke, sorry. But, you know, when the LA beetle fly, I was like, what the hell is that? So we looked it up. It's a fig beetle. Right? And so for me, I was like, oh my God. So what it does is it tears the fig open with its hands and eats it. Did you know that?
I did not.
So you know, and those things are relentless, man. They like if they get you in their sights, they're not going away.
Last summer, I had a problem. You're seeing me in my office now, but I have like this other like off room that we don't use that much. But there was moths. I mean, it was like the movie The Locust. It was like you just keep hitting them with the dish towel. You know, you kill 50. 5 minutes later, there's 1,000 more because of the heat. It was like a 120-degree day, and all these fucking moths keep coming out. I was like, and I'm going like this, and all of a sudden I'm Linda Blair in The Heretic 2, and I'm like, what the fuck, man? I was like, Jesus. It was ridiculous.
So for every moth you killed, like 5 more would spawn, like a hive.
Exactly. It was like, yeah, it was like the locusts, man. They just keep coming back. I was like, what?
So after that incident, were you like, yo, the Bible's real? Were you like, yo, the plagues are legit, bro?
No.
Michael Moutsatsos, let me ask you a question. Are ghosts real? I love this question. Are ghosts real?
I don't believe in paranormal. I don't believe in ghosts.
Ghosts are not real.
Ghosts are not. I mean, yeah. I mean, I hear my name being called every once in a while when nobody's in the room. No, ghosts aren't real.
Are clowns scary, or does
no?
No, they're not. They're not. What about those people who stand around in the field when you drive up? You know, like you remember, like I just recently came up in my Facebook memories that Target banned the sale of clown costumes at their stores. They stopped because people were standing outside and freaking their neighbors out in clown outfits. Do you remember that?
That was about 2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, Well,
Yeah.
yeah, before COVID. So let's say
Yes,
yeah,
it was 2 or 3 years ago.
3 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, do you remember that?
Yeah.
Now, as a guy who doesn't believe in that shit, if you saw that guy on the corner, what would you do? Do you get out? Do you drive by?
I drive by, I would drive by. I mean, for me, when I saw that and heard all that, I thought it was a marketing ploy campaign for It Chapter 2 or whichever one came out first. I thought it was crazy people are fans, enthusiasts. I don't know. I just thought it was a whole bullshit thing that was going on.
You looked at it as more of a marketing campaign by the people involved with it.
Right. Well, not necessarily involved with it, but the fans trying to hype it up a little bit more. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. So right.
Yeah,
so,
it just smelled of bullshit.
It definitely helped the film, didn't it?
It did.
So how important is then? I know we talked about we don't care about likes, we don't care about those things, but how important is viral marketing for somebody like us? Somebody who's an actor, maybe had some successes, still working, or maybe somebody who's a director, still producing things. How important is viral success?
We may not like it, but you have to do it. Let's put it that way.
It's necessary now.
It's necessary now because, whatever the gimmick is, to me, that was a gimmick. That was, if it was a smart gimmick. You have to bring attention to the underdog. I'm an underdog. I'm a nobody. Nobody cares about me. I'm a guy that's had a couple of bits here and there in films. And now I'm dabbling in, the other side of the camera. You're trying to bring attention to yourself you got to come up with something original. You don't want to drop luggage, meaning, names, celebrity people that you know. I'm not that guy. So I have somebody that's really big that's in Ravage, a friend of mine. But I'm not using the guy's name. I'm not marketing it because of that. I want it to stand on its own. And right now, Ravage is in 65 film festivals. I've won 14 so far. I've won 14 awards. The Butcher won 60 in 2 years. It's still running. Just got another award the other day. So 2 years later, The Butcher is still kind of milking it, if you will, in the film festival. I could hype things around, and I'm not that guy. I don't consider myself to be a I guess I've been cursing on your show. I'm not a scumbag like that.
It's okay.
Okay. My
mom didn't watch this episode. It's fine. My mom doesn't care.
Yeah, I'm not I don't try to be a sneaky scumbaggy kind of guy, he's in my movie. Let's bring the guy out, and I want it to be on its own and do its own thing, good, better, and different. But going back to you do need today to market yourself and do something to bring attention, the spotlight to you.
Right. So I see other directors, who I guess have a different philosophy than you, go the opposite route. Tout their actors, call me and say, I got this guy in their movie, this guy in their, my movie. And, they brag. Are you having trouble hearing me, Mike?
There's
a tiny lag. You okay there? Check. We're almost to the end of the show anyway. Anyway, sorry about that. I have other directors who tout, this guy's in their movie, that guy's in their movie. So there's there's obviously no right way or wrong way, I guess, to do it.
Right.
It's just not the way you choose to do it.
It's just you're right. It's not the way Sorry. There's Dolby surround in my ears right now.
I have no idea what's going on.
Whatever you're saying is being replayed again.
Is it? That's so weird. I don't know why. Can you hear me now? Yes? Okay.
It keeps doing it.
I'm not sure what to do. We're almost out of time, but
now you're okay. Now you seem to be okay.
Oh, okay. Well, my question was, real quick, was other directors seem to be the opposite. They go, this guy's in my movie, that guy's in my movie. I guess so there's no real way to do it, right? Is that what we're saying, or is that sort of a like you said, rather let the film talk? Not happening. Well, that's I don't know what to do about that.
Maybe it's, I don't know. Okay.
Sorry, guys. Coffee Breaks Thursday with Jason Zalakis. At least we waited to the end of the episode to have this difficult technical difficulty. So we're going to see what happens here. See if we can get Mike back on. Are you there, Mike?
Hey, I'm here, man. I'm here.
Okay. So anyway, moving on. My question wasn't that good anyway. Tell the people. Obviously, you have Ravage coming up. You're working on Ravage. Where can we see these award-winning movies that you talk about? The Butcher, Ravage. Where can we see those?
The Butcher was on Amazon Prime. It was on for like 2 years. The people that Avail Entertainment, they had their own site as well. They took it down because the one guy, the distributor, started directing movies, and so they couldn't be bothered with their own site. It was on Amazon for 2 years. They're telling me that it's going back on Amazon Prime again. Ravage is going back on Amazon. They're talking to me about Tubi and some other different platforms. I'm trying to say this fast because I keep getting this in the background again.
We can hear you, and I don't know why your audio is bad, but on my end, the show is recording fine.
Okay, I'm going to try it this way, man. I can hear you through my phone.
Well, that works out pretty well. And then we can see your whole head, too. That's cool. I didn't know. Man, I thought I wasn't even sure. He was like real pointy. Anyway, no, I'm just kidding. so
anyhow, yeah, it's supposed to be on different platforms. The rule is with film festivals is that once it's in play, the public can't see it, but hopefully sometime in 2022, I do want to do a big LA screening for it as well. So hopefully in 2022, it'll be out to the masses. Let's put it that way.
And obviously we know you have Ravage 2 you're in the process of. Tell us what you got coming up.
Ravage 2, I just announced that I'm going to be doing Ravage 3. I did an outline with that and stuff like that. I also wrote the script for a movie called Amityville Legend, which has been winning awards in film festivals. I didn't know you can send out a script. Mine's different in the fact that, like today, everybody's using the title Amityville because it's a public domain. So they're making lots of crappy movies. Amityville Karen, Amityville Cop, Amityville Werewolf, Amityville, just to get the fucking name out there.
That's so funny because I know the guys involved in that.
Yeah, I do too.
That's why
I'm dogging them.
I hear you. Oh my God, those movies are so bad. Anyway, go on. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so it's that, but I mean, I'm bringing it back to, it actually starts in Vaudeville, New York, 1940. And then it goes to 1972. And it's right before what happened, that the world knows about the DeFeos and the Luntz family. You can't mention those in your script or anything like that. You can't shoot in the house. You can't have so some of these posters that got the house, you're not supposed to have that because Lionsgate can sue your ass.
Right. And will.
And they will.
Right.
Yeah. A friend of mine had gotten me this like 14-page thing about Lionsgate and how they want you to shoot a movie. I almost threw up. They own everything. Well,
yeah, I mean, I guess they have to, but Amityville, the title itself is a public domain, so your script is winning awards.
Yeah.
And so tell us, what else? Is there any more you have coming up besides that? Because obviously that's a full plate, but is there more than that?
You never know with me.
Right.
I mean, Ravage was born during the pandemic. I was bored to death. It was going to be a short. It was going to be one person, one character. We were going to go out, a friend of mine who I fired. It was just going to be this cute little 20-minute short storyline about the pandemic. And then it just blew up into, I took liberties with it, and it's 5 different strains right now. And basically in 2022, because everybody blames each other for what's going on, World War III breaks out.
Okay, so you filmed a documentary. That's fascinating.
I filmed it to kind of look that way. It's not.
It is.
This guy. It starts out as Contagion. If you saw the movie Contagion,
yes,
Steven Soderbergh's. So it starts out as Contagion, and then it becomes I Am Legend. One guy is left. Yeah, we filmed 90% at the LA River.
Okay.
So there are creatures in the movie. You can't have something called Ravage without creatures. They're not zombies. They're ravaged creatures. They're not like flesh, skin falling off. These are rage and I mean, everything was done with great makeup.
Right.
My makeup girl just won an award in Rome. She won. My makeup gal won for doing makeup in Rome. So it's that. It's not like it's 28 days later-ish kind of World War Z. It's not the gloopy, melty zombies.
Okay. Yeah. So tell the people then, because as much as I love that, and we're talking about the zombies and all that great stuff.
Yeah.
Tell the people where they can find you if they want to get in contact with you and they have a great idea for.
An idea.
I mean,
all my films have fan pages on Facebook. I'm also on Instagram at Real Ravage 1 or Real Michael M17. That's on Instagram. But if you type in Ravage or you type in The Butcher on Facebook in the search engine, there's fan pages, there's videos, there's trailers, there's who's in it. The Butcher, Maria Olsen, plays my mom. If anybody knows who Maria Olsen is, great, wonderful horror character actress. So I got her in my movie. So yeah, I mean, that's just me, the simple guy trying to get his shit out there.
There it is.
There it is.
Michael, thank you. Thank you for Michael Moutsatsos. Thank you for being our guest today, folks. Thank you for watching. This concludes our horror month. Thank you to producer Warren Madden. Thank you, folks. Coffee Breaks Thursday with Jason Zalakis. Michael, thank you again. I hope to meet you in person, buddy. Right on, man.